Hey guys, it's Randy here, and I'm working on my 1995 S-10 two-wheel drive pickup. It's got a 2.2 liter four-cylinder engine in it, and I have number 4 fuel injector leaking out of the top of the body of the injector. Here's a new injector, still in the package of course, but I can't really tell where exactly, but there's fuel leaking out somewhere out of the top of this. So anyway, I've got to replace it, and kind of found a cheap method on how to do that, so I thought I'd show you how to do that. It's not too bad. It took me about an hour to get the injector out, and it's getting late tonight, so I thought I'd shoot a quick video and better quit on it and finish it in the morning. But first of all, you need to take this air intake, pulling them off, and there's 3 grommets. I've got the injector out, but I laid stuff back in place so I can show you how to do it. So here we go. Anyway, there's 3 grommets. Hold this on right here. What you want to do is pull the center out of that, and the grommets may or may not stay in place in this plastic ducting. But and then loosen this clamp here, loosen the clamp at the throttle body, and then there's a plastic hose right here. Pull that out, and then take this off. Take this intake tube off. I'm just shooting this with my phone, so I'm having to do it one-handed. Get that off of there. There's where that plastic tube goes. And you don't have to, but anyway, this plastic tube runs back here to the valve cover port. It was half loose, so I just took it off to get it out of the way. And then, you wouldn't have to remove this piece, but it just kind of gave me a little bit more room. So anyway, loosen this clamp right here, pull that loose. And then there's a little tab right here, and that goes under the top radiator hose, just kind of to support it. So like I said, it should be underneath it. So I kind of had to pry the hose out and get that above it. And then if you think it's easier, you might take this clamp off here from the radiator overflow, but I was able to get that out from underneath it. Like that. Here we go. Get that out of the way. And then here's your throttle cable. It's just kind of a plastic cover. It takes a 7mm socket. Right there's 1 bolt. Remove that. And then takes a 10mm socket. Take this bolt out here, out of the throttle cable bracket, and there's 1 down here. And then that will be loose. And then take the cable out of the bracket. Like I said, I'm using 1 hand, so what you do is kind of open the throttle, and that cable sits in a slot down in there. You'll see it, and it just slides out towards the front. Get the cable out of the way. Just get a side over here, and then next remove this bolt right here, which actually goes through this hole in this bracket. I just put it back in place so I know where the bolt went. Take that bolt out. This is your brake booster hose. Pull that hose off the pipe right there, and then that pipe goes to the intake manifold right back right here. So pull that off, remove that, and then let's see. And then this little plastic vacuum line, you'll see it. There's a rubber boot back in there. It kind of pulled back out. Like I said, I just had things setting in place. So pull that out, and then that goes to your EGR valve. I've got things marked with colored wire just so I know where it goes. Pull that off. Just, you would have to pull it completely off, but it's easy enough. Just get it out of the way, get it out of your way. And then let's see. The Chilton's book says to remove this whole upper intake manifold right here, which is, there's several vacuum lines. You know, there's several connectors right here. There's bolts around the perimeter of this. If we're working on, let's see. There's number 1 injector right there. So that'd be kind of hard to get to. And number 2 is right under here. Right there. That'd be hard to get to. But I'm working on number 4. So I thought, well, I'll try it without removing this intake manifold. And the Chilton's book also says to remove the fuel pressure regulator, which is right here. And it's got one bolt. I think it's just one right there. But anyway, I thought, well, I'll try without removing all of that. And like I said, I've got things laying in place. I've already got this kind of slid up out of position. But this plate right here, you can see these slots. There's a slot for each injector. And it goes down and slides in a groove in the injectors. And the reason they say to remove the fuel pressure regulator, see, it's kind of got a fork around the fuel pressure regulator. I really don't know what that does. But anyway, what I did, thought, well, I'll try it. Won't hurt anything to try. There's a Torx bolt right there, and there's the hole that it goes in. Like I said, this is already up. And then there is a Torx bolt right under the throttle body. Right there where my finger is. And that's the problem child right there. So I thought, well, if I can get that bolt out, I'll try it. So here's the 2 bolts that hold that fuel injector plate down. There's one of the bolts right there. And it's a Torx bolt. Of course, the back one I could get to with just a ratchet and an extension right there. That was easy. But the one under the throttle body, I took it's a T30 Torx bit. I thought, well, maybe that will fit. So I took a little ignition wrench and taped that bit to it. But that was still too tall and it wouldn't go under there. So I used these little, I think these are 5-inch vice grips. And I got that on the side of the bolt, as you can see. And I got it broke loose and I kind of had to wrench it out of there with the vice grips. But when I got it about halfway up, I was able to take it out with my fingers. So then after those 2 bolts were out, then this plate was loose, and I just kind of raised it up like that. And then, like I said, we're working on number 4, which is this one right here. Of course, unplug it. The connector's laying down here. Anyway, there's kind of an ear on each side you need to pull out, and that unplugs. And then I took, let me find it, took a long skinny screwdriver that I had, and I can get my phone in there just right. Anyway, the injector just sets in a bore on an O-ring. was able to get under it like this, that screwdriver, and kind of pry it up. And then, once I got it broke loose, I just pulled it out of the bore. And so here it is. There's the O-ring right on top. And the new one came with another O-ring. I'll have to put my other glasses on to see. I don't know if it uses it or if it just uses that one O-ring. Can't really tell. But anyway, that's how to get it out of there. And might take a clean rag and wipe that injector bore out. Make sure there's no dirt in it. And I like to put a little Vaseline or dielectric grease on the O-ring on the new injector and pop it back into place. And then, like I said, you'll slide this plate back down. There's a, if you can see it, right there. It's kind of a little fork, and it slides in a slot in the injectors, and it just holds down on it while you slide that all down into place. And put the 2 bolts back into that plate and put it back together, and you're good to go. So it, I don't know if I said, but it took me about an hour to figure it out and get that injector out of there, so it wasn't too awful bad. So anyway, hope that helped somebody, and thanks for watching.